We are back. Last week, we talked about entry pricing, specifically how the price of your hero product sets a ceiling on who you attract and how far they'll go. This week, I want to stay in that world, but look at it from a slightly different angle, because there's another signal sitting in your first order data that most brands completely misread. When someone builds a big first cart, most teams think, great, the upsell worked. That's actually the wrong takeaway, and this week I want to explain why. Hi, I'm Alex Worley, and this is Hard Margins, your weekly e-commerce brief brought to you by RetentionX. RetentionX is the only integrated growth platform built for Shopify businesses. One clean source of truth for your customer data and the tools to act on it, no data team required. This week is about AOV, average order value, not as a checkout metric, but as a customer quality signal, because the size of someone's first cart tells you a lot about who they are and how they're going to behave for the next 12 months. Here's the reframe I want you to sit with. Average order value is not a checkout outcome, it's an enrollment signal. When someone builds a large first cart, they're telling you something about how they show up. The offer was clear to them, the products felt like they went together, they trusted the brand enough to buy with intent rather than impulse. That behavioral profile, the kind of person who arrives ready to commit, is what drives everything that happens after that first order. So the question isn't how to nudge someone towards spending an incremental $10 at checkout. The question is whether you're recruiting the right kind of customer in the first place. Let me make this concrete. Take two customers acquired on the same day through the same channel at the same ROAS, 2.25x on both. Customer A, let's call him Mike, converts at $75 with a $33 customer acquisition cost. Customer B, let's call her Sarah, converts at $140 with a $62 customer acquisition cost. The platform reports the same return, the same ROAS on both. Most brands stop there and call it even. But here's what plays out over the course of the next year. Mike, customer A, has a 14% repeat rate in the first 60 to 90 days. He'll place 1.4 orders over 12 months. More than half his reorders involve a discount, and he stays narrow. He doesn't really explore the catalog. Sarah repeats at 28% in that exact same window. She'll place 3.1 orders over 12 months, and only 14% of her reorders use any discount at all. She'll buy across twice as many categories. The same ROAS, completely different value, and average order value is the earliest place that difference shows up, before repeat rate, before LTV, before any of the downstream signals you'd normally wait for. There are 5 key things I want to walk you through here, because they each change how you should act. The first is that AOV is a cohort quality signal, not a checkout KPI. A customer who builds a full first cart is thinking about the routine, not just a single product. That mindset is the behavioral profile that repeats. Next, and this is important, higher AOV only helps if it's not discount driven. A bigger basket bought on promo is just pulled forward demand. A discount inflated first order that doesn't repeat has the same problem as low average order value. It's just harder to see because the number looks good on paper. Third, average order value is an early proxy for brand trust. People don't build large carts when they're uncertain. A full first cart happens when the offer is clear and the customer believes it's going to work for them. Trust is the retention lever. Average order value is where you see it show up first. Fourth, average order value is also an acquisition lever. It determines who you attract. A low-priced single product as your front door pulls in single-item shoppers. A clearly framed routine or kit attracts multi-item buyers who behave differently for the entire relationship. Your front door recruits a certain kind of customer. Average order value tells you who walked through your front door. Fifth, the best average order value increases come from sequencing, not upsells. You may also like doesn't really move the needle. This and this together is the routine does move the needle. Customers want a solution, not more choices to sort through. So practically, where does this lead? Start by separating new customer average order value from repeat customer average order value immediately. Blended AOV hides the real story. New customer AOV tells you about acquisition, quality, and how well your offer is landing. Repeat customer AOV tells you about retention depth and cross-sell strength. If repeat AOV is climbing while new AOV is flat, your retention engine is working. If new AOV is only going up because of promo, you're buying a metric that will eventually revert. Next, build a view that connects first order AOV to 12-month behavior. Bucket your customers by first order AOV and compare each bucket on repeat rate. Orders per customer over the course of that year. How broadly do they buy across the catalog? How often they need a discount to reorder? That's where the real customer value becomes visible, and it's usually pretty clarifying. When it comes to actually lifting average order value, there are 3 mechanics worth using, all without eroding margin. Good, better, best bundles where the step up feels like genuine value rather than a pitch. Think use case add-ons that complete an outcome rather than margin grabs tacked onto a hero, and a free shipping threshold set just above your current average order value. A modest stretch, not a cliff. Shift your merchandising language from individual SKUs to systems. The starter kit, the refill and companion, the travel set. That framing increases first basket size and creates a natural roadmap for the second purchase. The customer already knows where they're going next. And lastly, treat high average order value first buyers as their own retention segment. They've already signaled trust. Build their post-purchase flow around education and early access, not discounts, and use the next best offer logic on what customers like them actually buy next. These are your highest leverage cohort. The way you treat them in their first 30 days determines whether that initial trust compounds or disappears. AOV isn't a checkout metric, it's an early read on customer quality. And customer quality is what determines whether your cohorts compound or flatten over time. High average order value customers repeat more, explore more of the catalog, and need fewer discounts to stay engaged. The brands that understand this stop optimizing AOV at the checkout and start engineering it at the front door through offer framing, product sequencing, and the kind of customer they're choosing to recruit. Thanks for listening. I'm Alex Orley. This has been another episode of Hard Margins, your weekly e-commerce brief, brought to you by RetentionX. I will see you next week.